Jay here from Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, we're in the studio. We are live. We're not outside Old Trafford this Monday morning. Bit of a change because we had a late one last night. But we will be outside Old Trafford tomorrow. So, listen, I don't like changing routine. I'm not into that, but just bear with us. Loads of Manchester United news to chat about. Lots of it focusing on everyone's favourite topic, Marcus Rashford. Also, Ruben Amorim's birthday today, so we'll be getting into all that. Plus some transfer news as well. Outgoings, incomings, what is going on? We're running out of time, aren't we, in this transfer window? How many days left? Is it 4 or 5 or maybe even 6? I'm not sure. I think it runs to about 3rd of Feb, actually, doesn't it? So we're getting into all that. So make sure you are hitting like, share and subscribe and get involved in the comments. Let us know what you think. Right, let's talk about Ruben Amorim and his birthday. It's his birthday today, and he said... he was asked yesterday about it. You can see it there from Fabrizio Romano's got the quote there. We could have got it from anywhere, to be honest with you. It's not 40, I'm 50. After 2 months at Manchester United, it's 50. It's a privilege to spend my 40th birthday here. The players asked for the day off tomorrow, and I did not give it. So we are training. We work because it's my birthday, and my gift is to work with the guys who didn't play. It will be fantastic because we won. Then I will have dinner with my kids. I like that. I always work on my birthday as well, so we've got that in common, Ruben. Listen... he's very good with the media, innit? Even that little joke there. I like the fact that he's so calm and charismatic with the media. I think that was missing from Erik ten Hag, and it's not the be-all and end-all. You have to get results. You have to get performances from the players. You have to know what you're doing as a football manager. But just being able to have a good relationship, good rapport with the press does help you. It does, especially when you're going through a tricky spell like Ruben Amorim has been doing. I'm not saying it's all over now, the fact that we've won at Fulham, but... we've had some tough times, haven't we, over the last couple of months, and I think his relationship with the press has helped him a little bit. And any little, any little positive you can get, any little advantage you can get, I should say, is always going to help you as Manchester United manager. Loads of people in the chat already. Jacoya Trot, Notch is here as well. BMW Racing 1974. He's asking what is going on with Rashford. We'll get into that actually, Marcus Rashford, because for me it looks like it's done. This was quite brutal from Ruben Amorim. He spoke about how he'd rather pick the 63-year-old goalkeeper coach over a player that isn't trying, basically. I think we've got the full quote here. You can see it here. He was asked about Marcus Rashford. It's always the same reason. The training, the way I see a footballer should do in life. It's every day, every detail, If things don't change, I will not change. It's the same situation for every player. If you do the maximum and right things, we can use every player. You can see on the bench, we miss a bit of pace on the bench, but I would put Vital, which is the goalkeeping coach, before a player who doesn't give the maximum every day. Now, I just said there about Ruben Amorim having a good relationship with the press, a good relationship with the media. I think he knows what he's doing here when he's saying this. I don't think this is something that's lost in translation. It's a mistake. I know he said the other week about his comments regarding Manchester United being the worst team ever or the worst United team ever. It was a bit of a mistake. I don't feel like he's made a mistake here. I think he knows what he's getting at, and he's being almost as harsh as he can be, really. If you're saying I'd rather pick a 63-year-old goalkeeping coach over a player, then that is a huge message to that player. And I don't know if there's any way forward for Marcus Rashford and Ruben Amorim after this. I'll be honest with you. This, to me, feels like a manager who's had enough of him. It just does. And I think we were getting there anyway. We were practically there anyway, if I'm being honest. I've said it numerous times. I don't think Marcus Rashford's going to play for Manchester United again. And it saddens me the way it's ended. I think there's nothing wrong with saying that. It's true. There was a time when I thought Marcus Rashford was going to have a very, very good career at Manchester United. You think about when he burst onto the scene and all the rest of it, how much we got behind him during COVID as well. It was all fantastic. But you can see where this has gone, and now it has become untenable. And the latest comments by the manager make it even more so. Now, I know Marcus Rashford posted on his Instagram, sort of, well done to the lads or whatever. There you go. Congratulations on the win, lads. I mean, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. He should be acknowledging a win for his team. But I don't think it's going to change anything. And that Instagram post isn't going to make Ruben Amorim go, actually, I think I've made a mistake with that guy I've just said isn't trying hard enough. I'm going to put him back in the team. Could I be wrong? And could Marcus Rashford turn this around? And could he end up staying at Manchester United and playing for Manchester United? Nothing is impossible. He's still, I think, our highest earner. And if no one buys him, then is he going to spend the next 5 months or 4 months, whatever, on the bench? I doubt it. Or not even on the bench, not in the squad. Would Ineos allow that? For his value to depreciate because he's not even featuring? I don't know. I just don't truly see a way for Manchester United and Marcus Rashford to continue. I think the club have to find him a move, and I think he's got to find a move as well. Now, there's talk of his brother, I think Dwayne is his agent, trying to get him a move somewhere. All the avenues look to be closing, though. I think there was Milan at one point. That doesn't look like it's happening. Dortmund doesn't look like it's happening. Barcelona, I don't think that's going to happen. So he is running out of options. He might have to take a pay cut, but I just don't see it working with him and Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim's not going anywhere anytime soon as well. When it didn't work with Ralph Rangnick, we knew Ralph Rangnick was going to leave at the end of the season. And I think Marcus Rashford kind of knew that as well, so wasn't probably as fussed, if you will, about this relationship he had with the manager, because you think, okay, this guy's going to be gone in 6 months. Ruben Amorim could be here for the next 10 years. I hope he is. So Marcus Rashford, he'll know that this is a manager that he has to work with if he wants to have a future at Manchester United. And at the minute, he's not. So let me know what you think. Get involved in the chat in the comments. Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think Marcus Rashford has a future at Manchester United? Do you think Ruben Amorim are going to be able to fix this? Because I don't, but you may disagree. Akash K says, Jay, Rashford is Amorim's Paul McGrath moment. It's a good point, that. Paul McGrath was one of the best defenders ever. He was a phenomenal defender. He was an amazing centre-back. Anyone of a certain age, probably I was a bit too young for Paul McGrath. I vaguely remember him when I was a kid. But anyone of a certain age will tell you how good Paul McGrath was. He was right up there. And the very first Premier League season, when Villa finished second, he won PFA Player of the Year. And if you remember the Ireland squad that got to the 1994 World Cup, I think second round, they beat Italy in the group stages. Paul McGrath was one of their best players. Just unreal defender. But had issues around his drinking. Fergie couldn't get a tune out of him in the way he wanted. Didn't like his lifestyle. Moved him to Villa. And it worked well for Paul McGrath. He went on to play a lot of games for Aston Villa and become one of their all-time greats. And Alex Ferguson did kind of okay, didn't he, at Manchester United? So it worked well for both parties. This might be the similar thing with Marcus Rashford. I hope Marcus Rashford does well somewhere. I do. I don't wish him ill, but I just don't see it working out for him at Manchester United. Ali Maserati says Paul McGrath's book is one of the best sports biographies. It really is. It's quite dark at times. And there's a lot he went through. He had a lot of issues, Paul McGrath. And it's quite sad as well because they weren't really addressed. But if you get a chance, I don't want to digress, go and read that book. I can't remember the name of it. I have got it and I've read it, but it is a fantastic book. Fat4 says, hi Jay, appreciate Amorim's honesty, but do you think this might affect the sale or value of Rashford in Jan? This is one issue I've got with it. I don't mind a manager just saying, look, no, this guy isn't training properly. I don't know how many times I have to say this. He's not in the squad because of him, not because of me, because of him, because he's not doing the things he should be doing. I get that. However, there is that element of if you're a manager at another club and you're looking at, look, we need an attacker, we need someone who can score his goals, we need someone with a bit of pace. Marcus Rashford's available, costs a lot of money with his wages. Where's his head at? Where's his attitude at the minute? I hate using the word attitude, but it's appropriate. Is he in the right frame of mind to come to our club and do a job? And you go on the telly and you watch and you see Ruben Amorim basically saying he'd rather play a 63-year-old or put a 63-year-old goalkeeper coach on the bench. You're not going to be ringing Manchester United anytime soon to buy or to sign Marcus Rashford, are you? So there is a bit of a worry with that one. But I don't think you can say to Ruben Amorim, just be honest most of the time, but sometimes don't be. He's the way he is. He's an honest guy. He's one of those managers that wears his heart on his sleeve. You can see that. And he said it about the whole this is the worst Manchester United team in history comment. He said, sometimes I might make mistakes, but I'll own them. And I like that. He's still only young. He's only just turned 40. He's a very young man. You're very young if you're 40 years old. So I don't mind that. I don't mind Ruben Amorim being a bit brutal and being honest. And if it does knock a bit off Marcus Rashford's valuation, then it's not ideal, but what else can you do? You can't pretend, right? The thing is, right, anyone with half a brain can see that Marcus Rashford is not in the squad for a reason, and the reason isn't his ability. Marcus Rashford makes the bench for Manchester United if his head's in the game. He does. He probably starts at Manchester United if he's playing as well as he can. Let's be honest about this. Yeah, we've had situations where we've not even had enough numbers to make up the bench, and Rashford still hasn't been getting picked. So let's not be silly about this. Marcus Rashford isn't in the Manchester United squad for a reason, and it isn't his footballing ability. So Ruben Amorim is right to just be honest about it, because otherwise people are going to see through it. Even Ruben Amorim said, you know what, Marcus Rashford has smashed it in training this week. Anyone would want Marcus Rashford. If I was looking for a player, they should ring me and get Marcus Rashford. He's mint. People think you've lost the plot. If he's mint and he's smashing it in training, why are you not picking him? He has to be honest about it. Santa Notch says, McGrath was immense. I agree. Andy101 says, Jay, any comments on the viral video of Jim Ratcliffe being confronted by a few United fans after last night's game? We're going to get to that in a bit, yeah. I think Jim Ratcliffe got a bit of a rude awakening there. I don't think he expected that from the United fans, but we'll get to that in a minute. Knight says, club initiates a sale and tries to force him out, but idiots will say he wanted to be sold after the interview. I think he did want to be sold, though, didn't he? I think maybe the club are looking at Marcus Rashford and thinking we don't want him, but also Marcus Rashford is his own man. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's saying when he said to Henry Winter, I want a new challenge. And we had that clarified by Henry Winter. There was no ambiguity. He wanted to move on. Now, I wanted Marcus Rashford to respond to getting dropped from the Manchester derby by saying, right, I'm going to knuckle down, get back into the Manchester United squad, get back into the team and play a part in what Ruben Amorim's trying to do. That is an ideal scenario for me. Didn't happen, and I don't see it happening anytime soon. I don't think it'll ever happen. Let's talk about Patrick Dorgu. See here from Fabrizio Romano. United are set to approach Lecce again early this week for Patrick Dorgu. Add-ons will be a key part of the final proposal to get closer to Lecce's request. €40 million price tag. Dorgu has already agreed terms with United. Napoli are keen on summer move. Very attractive, though, proposition, isn't it, going to Napoli? That's a difficult one. Now. I'm hoping he wants to come to United, and he comes to United. And United are a bigger club than Napoli, we just are. But Napoli, I think the top of Serie A at the minute, have won a title not long ago. Passionate fans, very passionate fans. Great part of the world as well, Naples. So, yeah, if he wanted to stay in Italy, then he'll go to Napoli. But maybe Manchester United can make it an attractive offer, not just for him, but also for Lecce as well. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. Let me know what you think about Dorgu. We've spoken about him a few times on the channel. We were speaking, I think it was Mark Critch who was on last week. We spoke about him with him as well. Looks like there's a little bit of something here, a little bit of fire to that smoke. I'd like to see him come in. I've not watched loads of the kid, but from what I've been told from people who have, would fit into this system very well. We need players that can play in the wing-back positions. That is their position, because it feels a bit like square pegs in round holes at the minute, and it's not quite working, is it, if we're being honest? There's times when we've had some good results, some good performances, but there's times as well where you can see there's a massive issue there with us having to sort of shoehorn players in. Amad Diallo does quite well at wing-back, but you want him ideally further up the pitch. It's one of them, innit? Delo had a good game at Anfield, but he struggled this season. He's not suited to left wing-back role. Hopefully Patrick Dorgu can come in and be the player that we need. Siani Reese-Roberts, says Amad as wing-back, Zirkzee 10 to help Højlund with hold-up play and creativity. Best option we have right now. Maybe, yeah, we need to start getting a tune out of Rasmus Højlund, don't we? Because he had a bit of a stinker yesterday. He's not having a great season, and I feel for him, I do, because there's a lot of pressure on him. We should have more experienced options up front than Rasmus Højlund. It shouldn't be all on him. And at the moment, you've got either Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee, both very flawed as strikers that can lead the line for Manchester United. When I say very flawed, I know that sounds quite harsh. Højlund did well last season, but he's not a player that you want to be playing week in, week out. He's not a player that you want to be relying on for goals. You want someone else who could be the main man, and maybe Højlund was the backup. We haven't got that. Højlund's had to become the main man, and it's obviously affecting his game as well. You can see the pressure seems to be getting to him a little bit. I don't see that confidence that he had last season when he scored 16 goals. He seems to have lost a little bit, and I'd argue that yesterday at Craven Cottage was probably his worst performance in a red shirt. I'm not giving up on him. I think he can turn it around. Still very young, but we need someone experienced, I think, to lead the line for Manchester United. On Nkunku, because he's a player that has been linked with us. So we've got an exclusive here. I think this is from Court Offside. 70 million star wants Manchester United transfer after another deal fell through. You can see here, Chelsea forward Christopher Nkunku is understood to be keen on a potential transfer to United after another move collapsed. Sources with close understanding of the situation have informed Court Offside that Nkunku had more or less agreed terms with Bayern Munich, but an agreement could not be struck with Chelsea. So he had it looked like he was going to go to the Allianz Arena. That isn't happening. Could be coming to Manchester United. Let me know what you think about Christopher Nkunku. I think he's got about 13 goals this season, but I think only 2 of them have come in the Premier League. I think most of them have come in the cup competitions, and some of them against not the best opposition, shall we say, if we're being brutally honest. I think those 13 goals don't tell you the full story. I'm not knocking him for scoring goals. That's what his job is. But we have to be honest about where those goals have come from or who they've come against. So let me know what you think. One thing I'm wary of, right, is we get to a situation, don't we, as United fans, and I've done it so many times, where you go, we just need someone, just get anyone. He's a striker, yeah, he scored goals, get him. But is he the right man for Manchester United? This season isn't over. We've still got, a lot of football left to play. You still want to move up that table as high as you can. You still want to win games week in, week out. I don't want United getting beat. And you still want to win something, and we could potentially win the FA Cup or the Europa League. So is Nkunku going to help us do that? I'm not so sure. I think we've got some comments from Dharmesh Seth. They might be a little bit old. From 2 days ago, sorry. This was what he tweeted a couple of days ago, saying that discussing whether to make a loan move for Chelsea forward Nkunku, permanent move thought to be highly unlikely. We're going to speak to Dharmesh, I think, tomorrow, so we'll get the latest on that. It would make sense for a loan move. I don't think we sign him permanently. We ain't got the dough, and I don't know if he's a player you go, get him, he could do a job for us for the next 4 or 5 years. I think he'd be a stopgap. And I think he'd be a half-decent stopgap. But, again, like I said a minute ago, what do you think? Let me know what you think. Young Wizard said, I'd take him for 30 million, not for 70. All right. Danny Sabbath says, as someone who's had the pleasure of working in pro sports, you remove the problems, take the losses and grow from there. Fair enough. And also says he lives in Trafford. Fair enough. Phobos Taco Man says his injury record is shocking, Jay. Another mount avoid. Let's have a look at Christopher Nkunku's. I think that's who he's talking about there. I don't think he's still talking about Patrick Dorgu. His injury record. Has he missed a lot of games? I'm just having a look here. Yep. Last season he missed quite a lot of games actually last season. All in all, he missed about half the season actually last season. That's a bit disconcerting. Season before, he missed about 100 days, 130, 40 days maybe. The season before that, he didn't miss any, really. He's 8 days with coronavirus, which is neither here nor there. And the season before that, he missed about 40 days. But his last couple of seasons, he has missed quite a few games. That is a concern, although he doesn't seem to have missed many this season. So, yeah, the thing is, right, if you're bringing in a player in January on loan, think about why you're bringing him in. Think about why the club are letting him go. Why his selling club or his loaning club are letting him go. They're letting him go because, A, he's not first team choice, because if he is, they won't let him go. B, he's a player they probably can't sell, or, the loan is a better move for them because they can't really move him on at this moment in time. And C, it might be something like his injury record, or the manager doesn't fancy him in the system or whatever. There's always flaws to someone who goes on loan in January. It's very rare you get a loan signed in January who's mint. I think the last time we did that, I don't even know if it was January. Was it Larson who came in January? I want to say it was. But how long ago was that? It was about 15 years ago or whatever. But he was class, Henrik Larsson. But you don't tend to get those types of players who can come in and do a mint job on loan. Well, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about Christopher Nkunku. I haven't watched a lot of him. He looks all right. BC Max says Amorim has gone way overboard on Marcus. Akash K said Bruno. We bought Bruno, bro. We didn't loan him, but he's deleted it. Fair enough. Yes, Peter Carroll says it was Larson in Jan. So, yeah. Dan Carey says Igalo had great vibes. I don't know how great a signing he was, I'm being honest with you. And I think when it got to that game, I think was it Chelsea in the semi-final for the FA Cup, when you needed a striker who you could really hang your out on, I don't think he was quite good enough. Let's talk about this little drama, this little soap opera that's been going on over the last season or two. Well, I think it's about last year or so, innit? With Lisandro Martinez and Adama Traore. You can see it here, I think he's got it in the mail. Lisandro Martinez and Adama Traore, beef ignites again as pair clash, immediate challenge and tempers flare in shoving match after old school media war of words. Quite a lot going on there, isn't there, with that headline, eh? Lisandro Martinez and Adama Traore, beef ignites again as pair clash, immediate challenge and tempers flare in shoving match after old school media war of words. Right, okay, sound. I don't know if you've noticed this, you might not have done, but basically I think it was last season at Old Trafford, or was it might have been the season before, there was a game at Old Trafford, or the game last season where I think we won in the end. But first minute, I think early on in the game, Adama Traore goes past Martinez, and then after that, Martinez has his number, seems to sort of clock what he's about and just deals with him. Does an interview after the game and says, I sent him back to the gym, or he needs to go back to the gym. Words to that effect, I can't remember. Anyway, and Adama Traore then posted on Instagram, you know, we'll meet again soon or whatever. So yesterday, obviously, a little bit of beef there. Though, there he goes. This is what he posted on Instagram after Martinez said, you know, we'll go back to the gym. And he says, don't worry, we will meet again. So that, you know, I mean, a bit of a weird picture that he's posted there. It looks like he's staring into the abyss. But anyway, so there's a little bit of social media beef, which is the worst kind of beef, I think, between players. You know, give me Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira having it in a tunnel rather than, you know, semi-nasty Instagram posts. Anyway, there was a bit of kicking off yesterday with them both, bit of shoving and whatnot. And then you can say that, well, you can say because it's true. Lisandro Martinez has the last laugh, doesn't he? He scores a winner, gets player of the match, end of. But then Traore did this post, I don't know if we've seen the post that he did today, or last night, where he did a post of Lisandro Martinez on the floor and him running away as like his Instagram post of like, you know, oh, we go again kind of thing, you know, not the result we wanted, that kind of thing. Just to sort of carry it on as almost like, you know what, I'm winning kind of thing. Well, you're not, you lost the game. The player you've got beef with scored the winner and he got player of the match. Deal with it. So yeah, just all a bit silly really, to be honest with you. Not from Martinez's point of view, but from Adama Traore. Santa Nut says exactly this feels so cowardly. Deezo Show TV says Traore is so corny. Yeah, there it is. You can see there. I mean, yeah, all right, big man, nice one. Remind me, what was the score? How did it end up? Shut up. Let's talk about Jim Ratcliffe, the Jim Ratcliffe abuse video. After the game yesterday, so Jim Ratcliffe was in his car, and some United fans approached him, and I think at one point he says, you know, take your photograph. I think he thought they wanted to just take a picture of him, but they didn't. They wanted to give him a little bit of grief about ticket prices, £66 ticket prices and all the rest of it. I think we've got a small snippet of it here.
66 quid!
66 quid! 66 quid, mate! 66 quid, mate! What are you doing, mate?
Sort the fans
Northerners, come on, mate! Sort it out! If Fulham sell them for 66
worse than the
quid,
Glazers,
we
mate.
take triple
Worse than
that.
the Glazers,
We
you
take their fans,
hey.
mate! Our
Worse
prices
than
should
the
be a
Glazers.
third of Fulham's.
Sort it out, you
6 quid, you
chest.
Jim Ratcliffe! You.
So yeah, then was it worse than the Glazers? I think at one point they said to him. So he's not feeling the love, is he, from Manchester United fans at the minute? And you can understand why fans are frustrated with Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos. We've spoken about this extensively on the channel. We've seen some of the cuts that they've made. We've seen obviously the 66 quid ticket prices. Not popular decisions, and you can't expect fans to just love you because you're making changes. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If we see a positive outcome because of these changes, if we see Manchester United challenging, if we see a new stadium, if we see a club that is functioning, if we see fans getting looked after in the long run, okay, you'll look back and you'll go, do you know what, them tough decisions you made paid off, they were worth it. But at the minute, some of them feel a little bit ridiculous. Like the Christmas bonuses, the no free travel for the staff to the cup final. It feels like, how much are you saving? Is it really worth it? Obviously the 66 quid ticket thing was horrendous. So I can understand why fans are frustrated, and you can understand why they've let him know their feelings, and I think they've got a right to. I mean, it's not only so, well, they're abusing him or whatever, but, I mean, it's not the end of the world, is it? I don't know. Young Wizard says, they are uneducated but may have a point, lol. Oh, okay. I mean, there's a compliment in there somewhere. You can say, yeah, Lebo Salford says, I paid 51 quid in E233. Seems steep, that. 51 quid for a ticket. Especially watching United at the minute. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks to everyone who got involved in the chat and the comments. We're going to be back later on today with the Paddock podcast, of course. It's going to be myself, Joe Smith, and Ronaldo Brown. Also, if you want to catch up with a bit of reaction from yesterday's game, you've got the post-match review that we had with me, Hopper, and Adam McCullough. You've also got Stephen Howson's review, and you've got Andy Tate's review as well, if you want to look at what everyone had to say about what was a pretty drab game, but at least we got the win. That's what counts. We need wins, don't we? I've been Jay Motty. This has been The Paper Talk. Thanks for watching.